Hello, hello. What is up? Ha! For some reason, I'm really nervous today. I'm not really sure why. How are you? Well, I guess let's just get into it. Because why not? That's not it. Nope. Let's see. Oh, thanks. Fleur, you're here! In justice we trust, indeed. Oh, now it's there for some reason. Okay, that's weird. Well, if it works, it works, I guess. So, let's just get into it, I guess. Nope, not select adventure. You have to continue, dumbass. I know how this game works. Trial Part 3? Where was Trial Part 2? I only did one part last time. What is happening? I'm so confused. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruhodo! I've managed to find out what happened. Mr. Soto, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. It is. I actually had to look up, like, just how long it was. So I opened, like, the walkthrough guide and just did not read anything. I just, like, looked how long it would take me to scroll through everything, and it didn't seem too long, but who knows? Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with a young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Hmm? Oh, If the other passenger, why the frick frack would she show up in court? Good question. Maybe because she's innocent? I don't know. Why would she... No, that can't be. But why the fuck would a 15-year-old girl murder someone with a knife like that? Like, surely there is an easier way to do that. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were, in fact, 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Mrs. Soto. Yes! There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look! She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before.
Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Seeks. My lord. I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier?
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious! The army! What in the devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught, and now occupies the stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
Ahem, if I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded.
Maybe she stowed away in the carriage. I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is that this wee lass was here in the first place and why she had tried to bolt like that. It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Very well, Mr. McGilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case.
Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up and on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather, on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct?
It is exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the fifth passenger, my lord.
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Keeping it real. We'd love to see it. Took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, begorra, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
Hold it!
Miss Prostan. You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball when our eyes met. Well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. You're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite. That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
You set this young girl next to a corpse, sir.
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason?
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, readily confused perhaps with this young girl.
After that, of course. With a scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. I do wonder how you must be feeling, Mr. Naruhodo. Being the defendant's lawyer and yet finding myself as stunned as everyone else at this testimony? Let's just say it's trying. We certainly had precious little time to talk to Mr. McGilded before the trial. But we mustn't be dispirited. We must just try to learn all the facts we can. When we arrived in London this morning, I didn't see my day panning out like this. Oh, that's right, they just fucking arrived here. Mr. Naruhodo, no grumbling, even in your head. How did you know? Okay. But how was she? I have so many questions. I'm just gonna press everything. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either.
If she snuck aboard the carriage, then it must be before the carriage even started running, so Miss McGilded must have noticed her if she stepped on late.
Yeah. Well, but he fell asleep, didn't he?
So you were the first passenger, as it were. I see.
Aye. And that's why I took the back side as I did. It's the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means, this is how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, it's the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Hold it!
Because he got woken up by a loud thud and a scream. A loud thud, you say, and a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone fallen to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the son of Mr. Mason fallen to the floor having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fella on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream?
Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume.
Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes.
Hold it!
You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is.
find that a little hard to believe.
Lord Van Seeks! Now why would that be?
You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage, and a normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is.
I mean, yeah, there was underneath the seat that McGilded sat in. Well now, as you know, I am something of a special line of business.
The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest?
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. Surely there would be room for a small girl. So I do try, were at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle of trouble.
Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there?
Heavens alive, no! I was always intended to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first.
The whys and wherefores?
Don't they mean the same thing? Isn't wherefore like an older way of saying why? Because that is one of the things that bothers me the most when I see people like talk about Romeo and Juliet, like, you know, the Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo, right? And they always think that wherefore means where for some reason, and I'm just like, no, it means why. Please tell me that Drunoski is gonna be like, don't they mean the same thing? Right, you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. But they mean the same thing! Why would you...
Why are you Romeo? It is much funnier than where are you?
But the reason also why I know that wherefore means why and not where is because it's way closer to the Norwegian word and also the Swedish word for why. They're not the same, but they're very similar. As in the Norwegian and Swedish one. In Norwegian, it's hvorfor, and in Swedish, it's varför, right? And that means why. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thought of the victim collapsing. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from. Bless my soul, what did I find? A girl. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir. So I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream... But he said queer last time! Why? No! The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
Good gracious! Under your backside?
And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. This will be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. And that's when I found her.
Thank you, I've heard enough. The events explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl?
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. Oh no, pay attention in class. What's commonly called a pickpocket? What?
This girl here? A petty thief? Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question.
She really just did that, huh?
How dare you! What is the meaning of this? Ah! The girl! She's gone!
Open your eyes! I'm over here! God, I fucking knew she was gonna have a more, like, Cockney accent, I guess. I can't fucking do that.
Good gracious, how?
What was the point in that little sidestep? Oh god. I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Okay, I'm now really happy. I called this stream. It's Tuesday and it's... Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day, down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, innit? I like the pink best.
Do not wave that thing in my direction again.
He's just like, I need a fucking drink for this.
So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question?
It's alright, lass. You can tell him the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said.
The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please.
Funsteaks is the wine uncle of this court. He really is.
You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
Alright, if I have to. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked. Hooked. Okay, I was like, hooked? Before they hooked? I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped up me skin I did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that the swell found me. He did help me get away, mind.
God, this is fucking hard. I'm struggling. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, it's the simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was fucking asleep. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for.
Oh no, that was not him. Never.
This is where I was sat that night.
And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath his seat, I presume. Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
There was stuff, you're right. Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there.
Where is stuff? They removed stuff. I don't know why, but...
Because I parked myself on the seat for the duration.
Huh!
So you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question?
Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. That I was innocent? So I thought it was worth taking a punt of my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness! What a perfect gentleman!
My lord! This fine example of a man cannot simply be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
Oh, that's right, we still have her left. Oh god, what was the voice I gave her? I don't fucking know. With calm calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty?
Mr. Naruhodo, this... well, it must mean... It must mean what?
He said that the seat was the more comfortable one, but looking at it, it's noticeably thinner?
Really? Sorry, open the door. Yeah, open the... Well... I guess, kind of, a bit. Not by a lot, though. It must mean what? That we're victorious! We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
There it is! That's the animation! That is it! That was originally gonna be for Godot. Oh, God. Sir? Oh, God. That reminds me, actually.
Sir, this is a courtroom. Pfft, courtroom, schmortroom, who cares? Let's see. Can I find it? Did I bookmark it? Did I retweet it? I bookmarked it.
So, not only is it this animation right here. But there is also wrong. Properties and switch that to okay. There was also this that I'm gonna show you right now. Someone find out that Von Seeks in The Greatest Attorney has a scrapped post where he just well, why don't I just show you? Chills on the prosecutor's desk with a wine glass in his hand. He just he really is the wine uncle of this court. He is the wine uncle. Yeah, okay. That pose. Oh, it's amazing. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray to forgive the discourtesy. I don't know why they would remove that, but this really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices, where evidence and reasoning should be paramount. Emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. Oh, he's gonna say that there was stuff. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good lord, indeed. The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilded's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. Oh no! It's not Gina, is it? What? Oh no. Or someone else during the smoke bomb.
Order! Order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend. Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the What did you find the condition of the under-seat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Von Seeks. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? I didn't look. I mean, I can't lie. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes.
Are you sure, counsel?
Be whist. What are you saying now, you daft daw? I thought you were on my side here. Well, I am, but I can't just lie in a court of law.
What game are you playing?
Well, it's the Great Ace Attorney Adventures.
You're tasked to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position?
As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Yes!
Interesting.
It's not altogether pleasant, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget what you're supposed to be representing my best... That you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. You know, the court must consider the facts. That their cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is.
I mean, one possibility is that someone filled it up before it was brought into the courtroom, and then someone removed it, possibly Gina, I don't know, to recreate what it actually was like at the time of the murder.
I don't know.
Defense attorneys have a task to defend their clients at all costs. However, lying in court is not allowed at any time, no matter the circumstances. Yeah, exactly. I think that I would rather just say the truth and put my client in a compromising position than lying and be caught for that and put my client in an even more compromising position. You know, like, you gotta...
Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interests now to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why do I feel like something's not right here?
I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. A compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible.
Are you sure though, considering he took 5 pence a fare?
The money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying.
Oh no, here we fucking go again.
Ah!
I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. But aren't you rich? You look rich!
I can't tell if this man is supposed to be poor or rich.
I would assume he's supposed to be rich.
I don't fucking know. McGilded is behind this stuff vanishing. I don't fucking know who is behind what at this point. Oh no.
It's a trick. Of course it's a trick.
So much for that win.
Quite so. I must concur here. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
I guess McGilded is the 1% of knife juror is probably upper middle class.
Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems.
My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. But so would a verdict of guilty. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? Those appearances were super important in these times, so even poor people would dress in their best clothes to appear richer. Interesting. The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Oh boy. Just like always. Hold on.
Hold it!
So, you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run. Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of spending the Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, innit? I suppose she means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense.
Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants.
Well, that does clear up a little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making it 20, to which the cabman testified. And what little scapegrace, riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right?
But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach, no?
Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much.
And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia.
Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell ya.
It seems we reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Hold it!
So you couldn't see into the cabin at all? Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's up who I'm gonna fiddle.
I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher.
I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see?
You were right.
So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason, that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head.
And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. I see.
Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. I feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages, so it's Obson's choice? I'm not even gonna fucking question anything she's saying at this point. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyways, I was a bit scared, but I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily. That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes? or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not?
Well, girl, did you see what happened at the crucial moment?
Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and added quick butches while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke what had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. Oh my god. Doing good with the voices. Thank you. That matches Mr. McGilded's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late by then. I should never have risked looking.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGilded discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke got a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. Oh, how awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. Thank you for being impressed by my ineptitude. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilded for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know me name and what I was up to in that. Then I heard something from up above. Someone screamed.
Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume.
Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up small-ish, and this Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they are all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we would clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right, and I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Oh my god. Okay. What evidence do we have? We have the autopsy report. We have the crime scene photograph. Murder weapon. We haven't actually looked at this, have we? An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial. And it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah! What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. A W? Yes, this is one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. Ha! Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha! You're funny! You're funny! You're funny! Very funny! Ha ha! I'm afraid I don't know at all. But what I am sure of is that this is an M. Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. How can you be sure it's an M? It looks prettier as a W. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh. You're literally carrying Kazuma's sword. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana.
Yeah, slung from his waist, exactly. That's not a blade. That's Kazuma's soul. Okay. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Oh, that looks like a lot of blood. Looks a lot like blood.
It surely is blood. The victim's.
An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood.
Did you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand. Okay, thank you so much for staying here for a while.
Dun, 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 dun. Is there anything interesting in it at all? Anything inside? It doesn't look like you can fit the knife inside of there. It looks very full. It's a spring-loaded blade. Not one of those who like flick up, but one of those where you can like stab yourself and there's just like a spring that just makes it go inwards, but makes it look like you're stabbing something. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, cool, now we've examined that. You're right, I should have another look at the omnibus. Yes, the prop blade, thank you. That's blood, isn't it?
Is something wrong?
Oh, it's just, well, this blood stain is so obvious, that's all. And yet, Van Siegs has made no mention of it.
I suppose that does seem a little strange.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? I don't think I saw that last time. This is a storage compartment, but there is nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
So this is the roof deck of the omnibus.
Okay, I already read this part. I can't see anything else that's different. Can you? I can't really see much of a difference between these two seats, to be honest, but maybe that's just me. I didn't press this.
Hold it!
A waste of time. Why is that?
Well, most nights I'm on my own in the god permit, at least some of the time.
Like, I beg your pardon. Did you say God permit?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what my kind call it. You'd call it the omnibus, I suppose. The point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night. This cove was sat on my seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck.
I don't question her. You mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin?
Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. I am struggling. I'm just gonna say the same thing. Suppose, okay. Okay. Just the same thing. Not interesting at all. God! God! Snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. You can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. Then after a while I hear this loud bang and nearly jumped out of my skin, I did. I don't know, it's bothering me too, but I don't know what it is. Like, dude, fucking communicate. I can't read your thoughts. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. And also, like, what do I show? Do I just show the carriage? I mean, I can try. I want to save first though.
Objection!
Nope, that's not it.
Sorry, Counsel, but I failed to see the connection. Of course you do. For heaven's sake, would you kindly desist from that wide-eyed, panic-stricken look you are wont to wear?
It's the only panic-stricken look I know. Also, why would he fall forward? Let's try the knife. A loud bang from a knife.
Objection!
Nope, that's not it either. Damn it. Okay. I hate when I'm cooking and my knives just let out a loud bang. True. Oh, damn.
Hold it!
When Miss McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place. I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me down, okay. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, the bloke got a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. And the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. Both my hands got covered in blood. It made me feel as sick as a dog. After that, I believe it talked with Mr. McGilda for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff, wanted to know me name and what I was up to in that. And I heard something from up above. Someone screamed. Mr. First? Yeah. Didn't look up. The horses were drawn to a halt, I guess. Get back under the seat. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to look up what to do because I'm kind of at a loss here, which is annoying, and I don't like that. Okay, it's that, and then
Hold it!
I have to press this again. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all. Not a job. Most days I push the cushion up with my head. Yeah. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other ones say. So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey right over me head. And for that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. There we go! Finally! God!
Excuse me!
Indeed, excuse me. Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I'm just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, it was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. Why the fuck did you not do that before, McAsshole? Because I did it in the wrong order. You have to press on the 5th statement and then you have to press on the 3rd statement. So I guess from now on I have to press everything twice. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. I mean, to be fair, he was locked inside of a trunk. And then inside of a closet. Or a wardrobe, I guess. Which I can't imagine had a lot of light. Hi, and I don't know about yourself, But I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe.
Miss Lestrade! Did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? You can make a nice nap pulling them. True.
Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
But Jabers! There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue.
Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's profoundly important. My lord! I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern mind, Counsel. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating the last statement, please.
What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me.
That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move.
I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself?
Not exactly, no.
Sorry?
Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then, when I saw this fowl getting on, I got me head down so he didn't notice me.
And Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah. Would you Adam and Eve it, eh?
Oh, that's right.
What a mug! So then, all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was.
Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? It doesn't add up. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Siegs realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGillard snoring, but think, Ryunosuke, think. There's something else she should have heard. Show a person. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person.
Take that!
Boom. Thrice fired Mason? Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, Council.
Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded? That it was, not a soul in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at the time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get home, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. I did not like the way I said that just. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Okay. You eat your dinner. I feel like this case is coming to a close, which is good. Because that means the next Ace Attorney stream is turned about Simon is a Weeb, and I'm so excited for that. Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't I? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage?
Huh.
We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
Lord Van Zieks?
Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statements. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Sir, no. He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that.
Grandma, no! Grandma, no! Grandma, no! Not Grandma! Ah! She didn't even say anything.
I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I can't abide liars.
And neither can I. Mr. Foreman! I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Oh no.
Ah! Mr. Naruhodo! That's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing. What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? Sir, no, please, no, not the... Why does he do that? Why does he do that? Why? Why do you know? I actually want to cry. I hate it so much. This is carnage. It's perfect. Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going, I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilde's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Oh no. Juror number 2!
Hold it!
Thank you!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we reconsider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case.
What are you saying? Counsel!
I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He must have been there already, right? Because there is no way. But where was he? Clearly, he was in there already from beforehand.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that clearly in your last sentence?
Well said, Lord Von Six. The clearly is troubling me also.
No, that's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been in the carriage from beforehand. Then answer me this. By beforehand, to which specific point in time are you referring? Well, clearly,
Shall have to penalize the defense heavily for this irrelevant rambling.
Ixama! Hi! I must learn to ramble more relevantly. The penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from those Nipponese eyes, so I ask you again. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? You missed the leg slam, yeah. Sorry. It was very funny. I laughed really hard. Okay, I think I'm gonna save here. There's another entrance? I don't fucking know. I guess not. If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic.
But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open, in short. There is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be! There's one possibility you haven't considered.
Oh, really?
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin.
All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim enter the cabin? Ha ha ha!
The skylight? Why would someone enter through the skylight? I can't really see that there is another way to get in there, right? Hold on. Yeah, it's only the skylight. Oh, you can open it from the outside. Okay, then it's a skylight, for sure. Why the fuck would he enter through the skylight?
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight.
I say, the skylight.
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost had me lost for words. However,
Objection!
the skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
so you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory?
Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor.
Yes, which has already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger.
Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact.
Good gracious!
Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible.
How can you be so sure?
Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony.
Well, yes, that's true, but might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded? To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that this is not so much a case of them not saying, but aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say.
What?
I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Mm.
Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof?
You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... What exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
First. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? Some of these animations are a lot, and I love them, but I also hate them. Especially juror number... the knife one. And when he starts licking the knife, that's a lot. That's a lot on a level that I do not enjoy. You rotter, he said. You rotter, what are you insinuating?
This is a flaming outrage. I've had good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
I'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay,
You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker.
and me, a very angry hatter.
Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's... It's a disgrace, it's scandalous, it's... Ugh! I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right, I protest too, about you, you rotten scoundrel. You're right, they do have similar looking hats.
Not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once.
What did that say?
Just order, okay, cool. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. If I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Six.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. So maybe they were involved in it. God, use your brain a little bit.
You have branded these gentlemen liars, and you have intimated their criminal guilt. In a British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation.
I know it was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify!
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
Welcome back.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this. He is wine mom? He's responsible for putting the bad guys in jail, telling the jury how stupid they are, and occasionally slamming his leg on his desk so hard that everyone shuts the fuck up. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keeping pushing forward.
We're the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that.
Give him back, Capcom. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it.
If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
The blood on the floor? And also, surely there must be some sort of bruising on his body by now.
I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith.
That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Though logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. Yeah, right? He would for sure have some sort of bruises somewhere on his body, which would be pretty simple, I believe, also in this time to realize they come from a fall.
What?
But if he was already dead, why was there fresh blood? He was still bleeding. I don't remember who said that, if it was Lestrade or if it was McGilded.
What?
Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard. The two witnesses share no common dealings. There are so many holes in this trial. I don't even know what to think. Like in the case in the other game with Praise-A-Lot, the cold temperature kept the blood in. Exactly. That too. And not so much kept the blood in as it just cooled his body temperature. Which threw off the time of death. The two witnesses share no common dealings. Huh, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy?
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. In any case, none of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man, okay? The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly open it. Really now?
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time?
I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said.
Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see? It's shut fast now. Just like it was on the night. Yeah, but I can also see that there is a hatch.
So it is, of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it still and all. You can't open it from the inside. That was like one of the first things I did. And it was... What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand.
Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens.
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Oh, I just meant to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did.
You expected me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried when I was inside that cabin of shame.
Excuse me.
What do you have to say, Gina dear? Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Oh god, here we fucking go. Miss Lestrade!
It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right?
Gina, no.
All them skylights open. That easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon?
That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you mug.
Oh!
Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears.
Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't up off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened that catch and jumped right through.
What?
Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin.
The skylight opens from the roof deck?
Bailiff! I'm up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verified this witness's claims.
Oh, my hat!
See?
Okay, but where is that omnibus? Is it behind them?
So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck.
You mean like copious amounts of drugs?
Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for.
Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Investigate for myself, you say? Okay, sure. I'll take a gander. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Is that all you wanted to do? Or do I now enter the omnibus? Well, let's open the door. Yes, go inside. That's blood. Is something wrong? Oh, it's just, well, this bloodstain is so obvious, that's all. And yet Von Six has made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? Can you... Oh, blood! Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Only someone like me. Ah! What is it? Look, just here. Look at this. That's, without question, it's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? There we go. Now let's go. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? My proof is here. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts. And the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof. Here, in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight.
Got it!
By Jupiter! Is that blood? No, it's ketchup. This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. Order! Order! Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight, sure, and that would be very, very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But... There is no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Fall damage? Bruises? Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is. What? No. But it can't be. It's all
Hold it!
lies. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now that where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3!
Objection!
Fuck off! Come on! I just thought if it was ketchup, that would be a crime. Someone would have dropped their fish and chips. True. Also, gilded usually refers to something of lesser value that has been pimped up, usually with gold, so I guess that alludes to McGilded's loan sharkiness. True, a chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Seeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylights. Such evidence is null and void. Please. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. Oh my god. But are you suggesting, Lord Van Seeks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes, and while this court has been in session. What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your stand-in, Lord Van Seeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut tut, Lord Van Seeks. Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh, no! I think it's fair to say this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if yous will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom this entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world of
world and his wife seeing. Isn't that right now, Council?
It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session. A learned friend. Sorry, McGilded, he's hot. You're on your own. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words.
As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think
it could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can, but still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh!
Good gracious! Explain yourself, Counsel.
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit?
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call for an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus.
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull? You rotten feckless gouger. Feckless?
Yeah, to steal inside. It means to, like, go inside. Feckless gouger?
You're supposed to be defending me. This a wicked plot. There's a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. I forgot his British accent. I'm sorry. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies? Such as?
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning.
Unfortunately, Lord Van Seeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
Surely Scotland Yard has like a document of what they did and what they noted, what they found. Surely.
When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut.
Accordingly, I am afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things.
What do you think?
Sorry?
About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus?
I have an inkling. Do I? My lord,
Yes, counsel?
there is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What?
What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here?
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel.
I don't fucking know.
Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial?
I mean, was there blood on the floor from the get-go? I don't think so. It's blood. It has to be this. Fun Six has made no mention of it. Yeah, so it has to be... It has to be the floor blood.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom.
Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel.
Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there is at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded, I have done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it is all over now. But you're the defendant.
It's over, I tell you.
Memory. Recollection. What people think they saw. It's all a nonsense. Facts are what counts. And the fact is that bloodstain is there, now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zieks. Well, my lord?
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it will be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zieks, what is your position?
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. Schrodinger's bloodstain, for real. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes, which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Yes, my lord. The defense believes...
Do we want to sip for Lucky Charms or wine, Mom?
Let's go innocent? I mean, considering the way he just kind of went insane. I am more inclined to choose this. Wait, what? One of them is a potential murderer. One of them is a potential serial murderer? Okay, since you've never seen Innocent, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let me just save first. As Mr. McGilden's legal representative. I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in this situation. I believe the defendant, Magnus McGilded, to be innocent of the allegations brought against him.
Thank you, counsel.
Yeah, take a drink. You need a drink. Here's to you, my Nipponese friend, and the most abject closing I have yet to hear in a court of law.
Order! Order!
Okay, Waluigi. Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision.
Van Six will remember that!
You've saved one of London's most influential gentlemen, fella, you should be proud of yourself. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah! Your job here is done, fella, and some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? 'Tis just the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did you put it now? Nothing more than a formality.
really don't know what to make of all this. Is the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said.
Stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mock my words.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Now the proceedings have unfolded this way. I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
I thank you kindly, my lord.
He is a goblin. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth.
Lord von Six, my lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord von Six ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, Lord von Six, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
You mean to tell me that this has all been a grand waste of time?
It is the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Magnus McGilded.
Good grief! You've got more to say to me, have you?
Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over.
Well, something to be looking forward to then.
I hereby pronounce the defendant Mr. Magnus McGilded
They even have fireworks?! Can't believe it, this is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more.
What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He is innocent.
With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us.
Who cares about fire safety, am I right?
That certainly was a long trial.
Ah, yes, it was.
Your first ever trial on foreign soil, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations.
And to you, Mrs. Sato. Thank you for your assistance.
I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection.
Aye, that you did.
Mr. McGilded. Ah, and that girl is with him too.
Well, it seems the stories are true.
Oh, what stories?
About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there is a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely.
I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it.
Calm down, Waluigi. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything.
What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then?
I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning.
You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Ah, 'tis water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved.
There's only one thing that matters to me.
Oh?
Aye. We've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. 'Tis grand, is it not?
I suppose it is.
Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is, and they'll get to the truth. I've absolutely faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay.
It's not that funny.
So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much.
Up be whist! You're a humble people, are you? You from the East. Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all. You're to serve a reward.
Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom.
Into the courtroom?
What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe.
I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry? What inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again? Now?
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. It's a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain.
And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot you was here too. Gina, no.
Don't move.
Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? Listen, that's not that important, okay? Like, whether he sat a girl down next to a dead body or not, that doesn't matter, apparently.
You're a grown-up.
Sorry?
And I hate all grown-ups.
There you are. Who this?
Naughty, naughty. Running off like that.
Is this some kind of picnic? Who is this little girl now?
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor.
Well, normally smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you had to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different omnibus and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
What's it? What? I have no idea what this girl is talking about.
Anyway, you're coming with me now, back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me.
Fine. Have it your way.
Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours.
We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right, but where to? Oh, we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night.
Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there. This can't be.
I can't tell if we're onto a new case now or if... Protect Santa. I don't think so though. It should like pop up. Yeah, there, end. Okay, cool. I got like really scared there for a second. Protect Santa. Huh. was okay. Okay. That was a lot. Damn. A lot of fun. No, seriously, it's great. I am really enjoying this game so far. I'm just what? Oh, wine and crackers. Nice. Nice, nice. What was I thinking? I was thinking something. I forget what I think. Yeah, okay. So there is The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. That's the next one. But I think next time I am going to continue with Spirit of Justice because I want to play Turnabout Simon is a Weeb so badly. It's literally only 2 parts too, so who knows how long I'm gonna spend on that. Damn. Ha. But anyways, oops, that got stuck in there for some reason. Where did I have it last time? McGrilled. Coming right up. Fun Six made a sacrifice. Oh my god. I was thinking today I am going to perform a song called All I Want by Kodaline. Because that's one of my favorite songs to play on the ukulele. So, without further ado, let's just get into it, I guess. I never seen. You took my soul and wiped it clean. Our love was made for movie screens. But if you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I want is, and all I need is to find somebody, find somebody. If you love me, why'd you leave me? Take my body, take my body. All I want is, and all I need is to find somebody, find somebody like you. I'm glad you like these outros, by the way. I have no idea how, like, the audio levels or anything are. I just kind of move the mic a bit further away from my face so that it won't capture as much of the ukulele sounds. At least I hope. I don't actually know if that works. So, yeah. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is a song that I have a very much faith in my own skills. And so... But it's a very sad song, so I was kind of hesitant to do that one, but it's such a nice song too. So yeah, a reminder that I do take requests. You can also join my Discord, which I now have linked in my profile here on Twitch, and you can also send me suggestions on there. I have a whole channel for that and everything. And I also post there whenever I go live. So, you know, not that there is actually a lot else happening in that server. It's pretty dead otherwise. But if you want to join, feel free to do so. But yeah, it was a lot of fun today. Next stream, maybe Thursday, perhaps. And then Turnabout Simon is a wee bit. I want to do that one. And also, just because of the spirit that is that episode, I should fucking get drunk. I'm not gonna say anything more about that. I'm just gonna say that. But that will be really fun, but it would also be a mess. So. Yes, hold on. Wait, actually, let me create something. Well, let's see. Nope, wrong button. I should have a link. Damn it, I can't. I guess here, and if I go to Nightbot, maybe. Also, don't worry about it. I wanted to say something, but I also didn't want to because I wanted to keep you here for the song, you know, because I know you'll like that part. Let's see here. What we commands? I have some commands. I don't have that command. Damn it. Well, anyways, I have a link to my Discord server on my profile. Can I just link it? No, I can't. Damn it. It was a lot of fun today, though. I'm very happy I managed to finish this episode. And let's see. Where the hell is the thing that I'm looking for? Right here. Can I copy the link address? Does that work? Haha! There we go. And we have the invite link. I thought I had a Nightbot command for that. Let me just set that up real quick, because why not? But yeah. Thank you all so much for staying here with me today, and I hope to see you again on Thursday. When, like I said, we're gonna get into Turnabout Simon is a Weeb, as I like to call it. Because that is exactly what that entire case is. There we go. Now it should be fixed. So if you type in !Discord, then you should get the link. Let me just test that real quick. Yep. There we go. Okay, anyways. See you on Thursday, and hope you have a wonderful evening, since you're in the Netherlands. And yeah, bye.